Of course, subscribing, sharing, telling all your friends about what we do right at Coastal TV. Big Lala is very much in the building, and it's basketball season just 2 days into the new year, and Burna Boy has opened the floodgates of, would I say, basketballs, or would I say Nigerian fans actually are the ones who have tendered themselves up for some sort of dragging right now, because it's buzzing on social media at the moment. Everyone is on Burna Boy, and Burna Boy is letting Nigerian fans know that you ain't shit. You understand? Like, these guys, that you guys don't mean anything to me. So on Twitter, I saw a couple of people talking about how they've been waiting for 8+ hours, and a couple of articles here and there. And Burna Boy was meant to do a show at the Co Energy City on the 1st of January, which was yesterday. Apparently, the show did not start until today, 3:30 a.m. this morning. And we had a lot of people coming out to blast Burna Boy because of a couple of things that he said. Big Lala, what exactly do you think about this whole brouhaha, Burna Boy and the fans, non-appreciation, Nigerian fans? They will never do that in the UK or in the US. A lot of theories, a lot of people coming out to say a lot of things. What do you have to say?
Well, first things first. I mean, let's take it one at a time. The issues on ground. There are several issues on ground, and
Yeah,
everyone has to get blamed appropriately for their part in what happened yesterday. What happened
yeah,
yesterday was a shame on Nigerian entertainment. Was a shame for Afrobeats in Nigeria. Was a shame. It's been going on for far too long that Nigerian artists don't ever come on time for shows. We always say this every time. They don't value the Nigerian audience. This is not. This goes beyond Burna Boy. Even if everything was all right, like he claimed, I don't think Burna Boy would have been on time for that show yesterday. It's a bad habit that Nigerian artists have. Like, they always show the most unprofessional attitude when it comes to Nigerian shows. They are never on time. They can build a show for 6 p.m., 9 p.m. They don't climb stage until 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Last year was even worse.
yeah,
This past December, we saw like an improvement there was no much of a, what's it called, complaint
yeah,
as to the previous year, when people literally were leaving the arenas at 6 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. It's total nonsense from these guys. And Burna Boy, whatever excuses he had about what happened yesterday, he should first of all take responsibility. And if
mm,
things doesn't work well for a show you're headlining, the best thing to do is to what? Apologize to the issues on ground. First issue is he claims that the organizers maybe messed up, the sound is not good, they never set up, blah 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 blah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he himself came to the venue uh past 12 or thereabouts, maybe 2 a.m. That's when he just came to the venue.
yeah,
They
yeah,
showed that. So he kept people waiting since when people have been there since 9 p.m. People have been there since 6 p.m. You get, and
yeah,
none of those things is acceptable by anyone. He kept people waiting. He came on board. So even if things did not go right from the organizer side, at least communicate with these guys who have been there. You didn't do that. That's the first issue. And that blame, if indeed the organizers messed up and the stage was not set and sound was not ready, then the organizers get the blame. That blame doesn't go to Burna Boy. But communication is important. Your brand is also important, right? If you value your fans, if you value people that paid hard-earned money in this recession of an economy to come and watch you perform, the least that they deserve from you is some sort of empathy, which they did not get last night. Burna Boy then decided to be an a-hole. That's what I'm going to call it, because that's just total a-hole behavior from what I witnessed
mm,
this morning. That's what it is. Nothing short of that. Instead of apologizing to his fans or of course, they are his fans. People who came there are his fans. He decides to use the opportunity to address his non-fans, his haters, his people who don't like.
yeah.
Do you think that the majority of people on there, that have been waiting, that feel aggrieved that you did not come up on time, you didn't communicate? Do you think they're not fans? They've been there 9 hours, right, waiting for you. You never came on board. You didn't think they deserve an apology. You think those guys are non-fans. You don't think that your actual fans, your actual
Mm.
outsiders. So if you now thought, oh, the people who are there are your haters, you think your haters will stand around to wait for you that to come and attend your
For
news?
8 hours plus, yeah, yeah,
Your
yeah.
haters won't do that. They are on Twitter. They're already bashing you. The actual fans are the ones who are there, who you owe your utmost professionalism because they paid out their money to come and see you perform.
See you perform.
But
Yeah.
instead, you went on a rant and you started saying things like, say my mama dance for Fela, I say I keep person
I
for
keep a
Kubana.
seat for Cubana,
You think the
yeah.
people who are there, who are actually there, are the ones who are bashing you on Twitter? They are not. It's just. I don't know what's wrong with Burna. I don't know what he was on yesterday, but it was total unprofessional from Burna what he did yesterday, and I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked that a Nigerian artist would take it this far. Even if things did not go as planned, there are ways. There are ways you can go about it.
Better ways to
We've seen
handle it.
we've seen someone like Davido and come and say, "Oh, these promoters they are not going to. I mean, they're not going through with the agreement that we had. But because of the
Yeah,
love for my fans, I don't want to leave you guys. I'm going to perform. I'm going to do this.
yeah,
Going extra mile, regardless of the obstacles that he has faced. You get.
yeah,
But Bonner, okay, fine. You wanna put the promoters or the organizers under the bus. Go ahead and do that. Protect your brand, but at the same time, be responsible to your fans. And yesterday, Bonner Boy was not responsible to your fans. Yesterday I'm saying yesterday. It's even this morning. This morning was
yeah.
was a total was the height of recklessness for Bonner Boy when it comes to performing in Nigeria. It was disappointing.
Yeah, and a lot of people on Twitter have been talking. While some people are saying, "Oh, the organizers should have done better in getting everything ready and all of that," some people believe that Burna Boy himself, should have updated the fans either via Twitter, since that's the same medium that he uses, to update the fans and everything, to tell them, "Oh, guys, this is what's happening right now. I'm here right now, but I'll perform for you guys very soon," and all of that. Now, fans believe that Burna Boy was outrightly disrespectful and he wouldn't do this anywhere outside Nigeria. Do you think so?
The thing is, outside Nigeria, for example,
Mm.
I mean, when it comes to timing, when you pay for the
Yeah.
time,
Mm.
they come. My daughter
Mm.
want to pay for TV. I don't understand.
No problem.
Now, outside of Nigeria,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
pay. I mean, when you pay for the slot, they give you a time, and because of environmental laws and everything, you have to be on
Yeah.
time. You cannot miss out. In Nigeria, it's a
Yeah.
bunch of lawlessness that happens in Nigeria. if if the Lagos State government was
Mm.
really want to crack down on all these late shows and everything, and they give them coffee,
Mm.
then these people they will fix up. But it's because there's lawlessness. You will come in, you will think you will book a show that's meant to be from 6 p.m. to about 12 p.m. But you don't start the show until 1 a.m. to finish at 5 a.m. Of course, if
Mm.
it's outside the country, things are more organized. In Nigeria, we know we're not organized. We know we're not organized at all, which is why things
Mm.
like this would happen, and it's
We
just disappointing.
Yeah, we talked about a couple of things that Burna Boy did, of course, while reviewing his 2022. A couple of things that he did last year, even the controversies and everything. And we said, is Burna Boy going to come up with lots of controversies in 2023? It started already on the second day of the year. Now, telling people God punish you, kicking a fan, in the head, just that same concert day, telling them, "Oh, Nato say my mother to fella, Ukubana and everything." Does it mean that Burna Boy really does not reach the Nigerian fans at all?
I see. Yesterday shouldn't be the telling point that he doesn't rate Nigerian fans because he's always been on Twitter. He's always said it. He's always said it publicly on Twitter that he
Maybe I
doesn't.
don't be Nigerian artist.
Yeah, he's always said it that he doesn't rate them. You get
Yeah.
so he's always said it that he doesn't rate them. So it's not the first time. It's not the second time. Yesterday should now be the boiling point for some neutral fans who are in the middle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those guys who think, oh, well, it's just like that. That's his way of living.
That's yeah.
Is the telling point that if you really want to cut this guy off your life, you don't want to listen to his music, you don't want to care about this guy. Yeah, this is your
Mm.
opportunity. This is
Mm.
not even opportunity. This is your telling sign. Forget about
Yeah.
it. But that
Yeah.
boy doesn't give two craps about you as a Nigerian, as a Nigerian fan. He's already said he's not a Nigerian artist. He's always been poking fun at the Nigerian audience. You get so those things are not new. You get
Mm.
not new.
Mm. Big Lala, is this a how should Nigerian fans deal with things like this, or should this be a collective thing? How should fans deal with a Burna Boy? You know, this kind of attitude from Burna Boy. How should Burna Boy react to this whole backlash and all of that?
See, the ideal thing for a Burna Boy to do is, I mean, recognize what he's done wrong.
Is he
But
ever going to do that?
I think the team around him would recognize that yesterday was a shit show. You get, they would recognize that. His mom would definitely recognize that yesterday was not uh, a good.
And I heard he performed for just 1 hour.
Yeah, it was more than 1 hour because I mean I was awake throughout that period. The whole thing before he came on stage, I was following the whole thing on Twitter. I think he
On
performed
Twitter.
for over an hour. But
Okay.
what I find um, not so nice. I mean, from that yesterday were some also the fans who were there. Some people who didn't have they didn't see themselves worthy of. I mean, they thought Burna Boy was their personal Lord and Savior, and somebody disrespected you, even though you've paid that much amount of money, and you thought it was still nice to give him a nice reception. Some were booing, which is all right, which is fair. But the other guys who felt it was normal, those
Yeah.
people, I really don't get what they're up to. I don't get what they're up to. I
Mm.
don't I don't get what they see in the Burna Boy. I don't know why they feel they have to put themselves so low in front of a Burna Boy for them to be treated that way. And then when Burna Boy says, "Say Burna Boy John, you too," I say Burna Boy John. It's crazy. It's crazy. You get. I don't.
Mm.
I don't. I don't quite get. I don't
So
quite.
is standship becoming a pandemic, in Nigeria? I mean, standing an artist.
I don't think it's not. I think stands will be stands, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to recognize when your principal messes up, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you just say you should be able to call out the BS of your stand. That
Yeah.
makes you a true stand, right?
Yeah.
Amidst of all the craziness that happened, you should be able to call out them and call them out and say, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
being you, but you mess up." That would be real stand.
Yeah.
Not all this fake that goes on
I
with.
saw, I saw, I saw, I saw, I saw a clip when he's finished saying, "Oh, God punish you," and everything. And then the next thing was, "Tell me what you see when you look at me." And people were already buzzing, like so, like following him on and on, like all along. Literally, these guys collected the abuse, in all graciousness, and then went ahead and flew, they kind of like, flowed with the guy and everything. It was really, really how that it was surprising. But how should fans make sure that this kind of thing do not repeat, itself anymore?
There's nothing fans can do. I think it's just concert goers in Nigeria. I think with the whole experience of, I mean, December shows. I mean, it's almost the same set of people go. You go the previous year, you go
Yeah.
like if you're not getting the best, you're not getting your money's worth. I think it's best to just forget about it.
Or should the fans be thanking Seyi Vibes?
Again, that's
If not
one
be
of the
Seyi Vibes, I would
what
not go out.
that's one of the many ridiculous statements that Burna uttered yesterday, and it's. I'll be surprised. I mean, you asked me a question: would they recognize that he messed up? Yes, his team would recognize. His mom should recognize he messed up. Should he apologize? Yes, he should apologize. Not to me. I wasn't there. I shouldn't feel. I mean, I didn't spend money on it, so I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys who were actually there, they deserve an apology. They deserve to be treated
Yeah.
better by Burna Boy. Burna Boy was the headliner
Yeah.
of the show yesterday,
Yeah.
and I think this is also a wake up call to brands, people who are going to organize future
Yeah.
that has to do with Burna Boy. They will probably think twice. They will think twice. Right
Mm.
now, it does. Of course, it doesn't affect Burna Boy because he makes more money from shows outside of Nigeria, which is fact. But
Mm.
if he doesn't think a show in Nigeria is worth it, then please
Yeah.
don't make him a
I
headline.
mean, a lot of fans paid 30,000 naira, 70K, 100K, 1 million to 10 million naira for tables, and then a lot of fans right there were hearing, if not for Seyi Vibes that told me to stay for my own concert. You understand? Seyi Vibes had to literally, what he meant was he begged him to stay for his own concert. If not, he would have left. So you would leave people who had paid millions of naira and not perform because you think they don't love you and all of that. I mean, like you said, maybe that tops it all in terms of some of the very, very bad behaviors, of course, of Burna Boy. You said his team are going to, maybe they will come out and say something.
For,
Will fans
I would
go to
prefer if
another
they
Burna
do.
Boy show?
But
Lala, will fans go to another Burna Boy show if
why
he
not?
calls another one in the next couple of days?
Why not? You see
To
people that
receive,
you see people that were there for 9 hours, being publicly disrespected, pe- publicly being cursed in front of the world, right? And they were there
and
for
getting kicked.
getting kicked, yeah. And it's still they were still singing Sumbalaja, and they were still singing, "Say My Name, Bonavi." Of course,
Yeah,
people will show up. There are people who can't see no wrong in. That's what we talked about in this township culture. People who can't call the BS of their principle, and I feel. I mean, some people just need to develop some self worth. If I were there yesterday, and 5 hours, 2 a.m. at the show hasn't started, I would have left. There's nothing. There's no point. There's no point. You don't. Is it not worth it to experience an hour and a half show after waiting 7 hours and listening to DJ and things like that? No, 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 no. And now people from outside Lagos are coming for Lagos people and saying things like this kind of thing cannot happen in Vibez, cannot happen
yeah,
in
yeah,
Lagos and things like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Are people from Lagos too soft? I don't know. But yesterday, I mean, I'm not saying it should have turned violent, but people should have actually walked out on Burna Boy. It would have been a big statement for him. It would have been a big statement. And also request your refund. If the show did not start from this time to that time, it needs.
Mm.
I was reading something on Twitter and people said there should be better way um, of treating people's consumer rights, because no,
But
there's
no,
been
wait, do the fans even want a refund, or they just want the show to
that's
happen?
what I'm saying. Not don't see. Let's not generalize all the fans. There are people who are there yesterday that did not enjoy what they got there for. If they all come together and be like, no, 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 this is not what we paid for. We didn't pay to come and stand for 6 hours or 7 hours before this guy come out. You get, if somebody needs to be made a scapegoat, people need to come together and and say, oh, no, 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 I paid. I didn't get the value of my money. I didn't get the value of my money.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
need to either pay me back, yeah, or
Yeah.
I don't know, sort it out some other way, or maybe if you do another show and make the guy on time. People need to be held accountable. People need to be held responsible for their actions. Burna Boy needs to be held accountable for his own actions.
His actions, yeah.
The only way you can do that is hurt his pockets. But at the end of the day, he makes more money outside the country. But at this rate, I really don't know, man. It's just I don't know.
Will Burna Boy stop doing shows in Nigeria?
I think at this rate,
So
yeah,
so at least he saves the fans the insult, and also the fans also save
it
themselves
should.
their self worth.
Definitely, you should. I don't think anybody really wants to have this sort of experience anymore. If you really, really, really want to have this sort of experience with the Burna Boy, so please go to when they come to and do Afro Nation in Ghana or do a show in Ghana.
In Ghana, yeah,
Go to Ghana. Please, when it comes to Nigerian shows, if you really value your time and you don't want to be stressed out,
yeah.
don't attend. I won't advise it. I don't advise anyone. Don't attend any of these shows.
Mm,
That's the way you make a statement. That's where you make a statement.
yeah.
Attend the shows of guys who are actually hungry, who value your time. You have to just at this point make mention of the people who actually do shows on time. People like Chike, people like
Yeah.
Faust. If they say the time,
Johnny Drill,
that time,
Ashake,
Ashake was based off recent events. You get,
yeah.
at least his Lagos shows he did it on time. You have to give him credit for that. So people need to do the same thing. Artists need to learn that they can't treat Nigerian fans this way, and there should be a walkout on any of these shows. People
Someone
should.
was asking on Twitter, where or was it just this morning, that why must it always be Burna Boy? I mean, a lot of artists come late to shows, and some of them apologize. They try to. They don't, even if the apology may not seem so professional and everything, but they still go ahead and just do the performance instead of still cursing the artists and causing the fans. Like, this is another level. It's a new low. According to so many people, for Burna Boy, saying you don't come to a show late for over 7-8 hours, and then you come to the stage, instead of apologizing, or instead of just keeping quiet and just go along, and just perform and everything. You found time to first and foremost abuse the fans, curse them and saying God will punish them, and say kick the fans and expect that they will stay. And of course, the fans stayed, and some had a good time and all of that. Now,
Someone it was good
Burna
time.
Boy,
But I saw
Burna Boy
videos.
has started. Yeah.
I saw videos of people trying to sing along, but you know when
Yeah,
somebody is trying to sing along to something because to form that they're enjoying it, but you can sense pain in their voice.
there's a pain.
Because it's frustrating, but because in a Burna Boy, I understand this guy. They make I just people are doing videos and yesterday was a S show,
But
not.
Big Lala, why this all of this and Nigerians are too tribalistic when it comes to things like this? Burna Boy should be doing his shows all over the south part of the country.
Nah,
Lagos will not too much.
sorry, but that is not that has nothing to do with tribe. That's not,
Yeah,
and this is the kind of thing we're talking about. You cannot afford to be tribalistic when it comes
yeah,
to issues like this. You cannot afford to bring tribe into the equation. So are you saying what
yeah.
happened yesterday was good enough?
No, it
Like
wasn't. It
you think
wasn't. It wasn't. It
Lagos
wasn't. It
people?
wasn't.
Nah, come on, man. You can't bring tribe into this. It's not. If anything, everyone should be talking out about what happened yesterday as not being acceptable. If you don't hold them accountable, they'll
Yeah,
think it's all right to always
Big
do.
Lala, is Burna too big to be cancelled in Nigeria?
So are you saying it's not? He had not been partially cancelled. Of course, the
I don't think.
cancellation.
I don't think so. Did you see the crowd yesterday at the venue
I
and the
saw
people
the
that
crowd.
waited for almost 8 hours?
I saw the crowd. It's also a reminder that if you thought that everything is well with Burna and Nigerian fans, no, it's not because he has serious beef with Nigerian fans. He
But
has
will the
serious.
fans ever learn? Will the fans ever learn?
The people who are late will not go to your show. Nigeria has over 200 million population. At least a million of people who attend these shows. You get, or people who are on the come up who have never been to any of the shows. Want to expect.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. I don't see it as a problem, but I don't want to generalize everyone and say we Nigerians ever learn. That's not what it is. It's not. We Nigerians should learn how to cover our own. Cover. I beg all of this. I don't want to talk about the cover our own.
Now, Burna Boy, of course, did not get any support on social media at all. Everyone had their take, and it was all in unison. Everybody did not support what Burna Boy did. Of course, no one will support you coming late, to a show, and also abusing the fans, with it and saying that Burna Boy is trying to remind people that you hated me, you spread, rumors about me in the past and everything. God will punish guys and all of that to your fans.
To see, Shay, that's what I'm saying. It's a misplaced priority. The night did not go on as planned, right? It didn't go on as planned. People are already angry. He's on Twitter. He sees everything. People have been waiting, and there's been uproar on Twitter already. People who paid 5 million for your tables. People who are
Bro,
standing.
yes.
So him saying that he's already agitated, right? But his plan to sort of, I mean, continue the show and maybe appease everyone. It looks like there was no plan. That's what it seemed. It looks like there was no plan. He came up agitated and all and started throwing tantrums, saying irrelevant things. Waiting concern Seyi vibes with people that came to see your show, with the thousands of people there. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody came there for Seyi vibe. They came there for you. And then
For
decided
Bora, yeah.
your haters who are most likely not even there. You left your actual fans in their thousands who were there addressing your non-fans. Your actual fans that you kept putting, you did not address them and say, "Oh, I'm really sorry things didn't go as planned, but I'm going to try my best to give you the best of shows." You treated your actual fans like your like the neutral fans who don't give a crap about you. That's the priority. He did set the right priority yesterday. It's just disappointing that a good man does that can do something like that and cannot prioritize his own fans. Is I don't know. Again, I think Burna Boy perhaps is a good man is with a small kid with a kid's mind. That's what it looks like to me at this junction.
Mm.
It's not it's not attractive for neutrals to even want to like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
People outside of Nigeria, they don't get to see this side of him. They see it
Yeah.
slightly on Twitter, but they cannot understand it as Nigerians would understand it. Nigerians
Yeah.
have been at the back of this back to back disrespect from
At
Burna
the receiving end, yes.
since
Yes.
since he broke out, since year
Yeah.
time, since his headline show in 2018.
2018 at the Federal Palace Hotel, that was the case. 2019 as well. 2020, there
Mhm.
was no show. 2021, of course, at the Hotel, it was the same thing. I was there, at the Hotel in 2021, 2022, or 2023, the first of, Burna Boy didn't have a show in Lagos in 2020 two. So the first day of 2023, it came with a lot of violence. and it's just it reeks of someone who I don't know how to say it, but uh, you said people will still come for the show. A couple of other fans will come as well and everything. But is there any lesson to be learned in this?
For the fans, there's lessons. I mean, Nigerian artists really need to do better for you. They need to give you value for your money. If they think your money is not worth it to them, I mean, it's your hard earned money. 30K is not small money. That's minimum wage in Nigeria. People are
Yeah,
making minimum wage.
minimum wage. Yeah.
Come and stand at your show. And if you don't get value for that money, perhaps next time you should sit your butt at home and maybe
Mm-hmm.
look for artists who would actually give you value for your money. Again, somebody needs to be used as a scapegoat. Either the organizers, right?
Mm.
Or Burna Boy himself. Somebody needs to be used as a scapegoat. One artist also needs to be used as a scapegoat. If an artist is given a sort of treatment, generally from Nigerian music fans, I'll be like, if you know they give us value, then we know they come for our show. We go sit down
Mm.
in the house. You get things like
Mm.
that. I think every other person would fix up. But is that possible? It's a long shot. I don't think it's possible. But
Yeah.
ideally that's what should happen.
Yeah, big Lala, as we go, when we talk about relationships and everything, we know there's some relationships that, you know, people say is being forced. Like when you see that these two guys, this girl and this guy, it's not just working. Like the best thing is for these guys to go their separate ways, so that peace would reign and both of them would have peace. Eventually. For the Nigerian fans of Burna Boy and Burna Boy himself, it seems to be a very, very what's the name now? A very toxic one. From I'm not a Nigerian artist to saying, oh, Whiskey FC, are this and that, to even saying that Seyi Vibes begged him to stay for his own show. All of it. Thank you so much for your comment, and to a lot of things. Big Lala, is this a relationship that needs to end? Is this a relation like the fans go their separate ways, and Burna Boy as well say, you know what? I agree. I don't have to come to Nigeria for it. Like it is really, really getting out of hand right now because it only shows that the next time this kind of thing happens, we'll see the same reaction from Burna Boy. The fans will still go as well and get all the insult. When exactly is it going to end? Do these guys need to go their separate ways?
I think generally there's a cycle for artists, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes they realize later on down the line. I mean, I'm not paying for anyone's downfall, but we've seen guys from 10 years ago who were at their
yeah.
prime. They didn't treat fans this way, but this day, excuse me, they didn't
Let's
even,
hear.
they didn't treat fans this way. They didn't. But now when they want to do shows, they can't pack that kind of crowd. But
Yeah,
they used to pack that kind of crowd,
yeah,
and they didn't have to beg for people to come to their shows. Now if
yeah,
they run any of their shows right now, these artists from back then, they can't they can't perform to the peak audience like they used to. That just shows the cycle of an artist, that there's your peak period times where you're on top of your game. But when your tips are down, when things are not, I'm not saying things will not work in the future for Burna Boy, but when you now actually need fans to push you to be your back
support you.
to
Yeah.
promote you and everything. Where else do you think those fans, where else, if not back home from your native country, do you think
Mm.
you have a strong fan base? The way Burna Boy has gone about this is he doesn't give two craps about Nigerian fans. He said it over and over again. He's not a Nigerian artist. He feels he's over there and outside of the country, he's doing well. He's building new fan bases. At the end of the day, there'll be somebody new from either Africa, from even those or
Yeah.
anywhere in the world that would get the hearts of these fans, and they will forget about you. If they forget about you, where else will you know where to go? I think you see now back of the people that you have disrespected
Yeah.
over and over again. He needs to
Yeah.
think about this in the long term. Even though in the present moment he's making loads of money, he's doing loads of shows, is on top of his game, which is all fine and good. Later down the line, will it affect him? I really don't know. But it's not wise the way he's gone about it. It's not wise. His team really need to check him. I don't want to put his mom in the question because she's not the only one who's
Yeah.
involved in Burna Boy band. But somebody needs to take a stand. The brands in Nigeria who are actually sponsoring these shows need to take a stand. They just need to please look at other options. People who would actually give fans for their money, because it goes beyond just selling tickets and making a
Yeah,
profit. You get, you could still get somebody else and pack. I mean that arena. There's
yeah,
no other option. If Burna Boy is not going to give Nigerians the words, please don't build. I mean, don't bring a Burna Boy as a headline to any of these shows. Fans just need to sit up. They should look at the experience with Burna Boy Wonder X and say like, nah, 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 nah. I don't think I want
hmm,
to this guy next year. And it's fine.
yeah,
If
yeah,
Burna Boy won't perform in December in Nigeria, please let him go and perform anywhere else. It's fine. Like, there are several. There's always artists that are springing up in Nigeria.
yeah.
Brands will always get value for their money. Let him go and be doing his moonwalk, Afro moonwalk in other countries. No, no problem.
Anyways, we know Burna Boy, of course, is still a Nigerian artist. Born, of course, in was it? He's from Port Harcourt. Stayed a bit in the battle and everything. Shout out to every Nigerian artist doing very, very well. What exactly do you think, guys, about Burna Boy and the antics at the show? Just some hours ago, telling the fans, "God punish you," kicking fans, and letting them know I wouldn't have been at this show that you guys paid millions of naira for, if not for someone like Seyi Vibes that begged me, na Seyi Vibes, begged me to stay for my show. That for me, that was the craziest part for me. Like someone had to beg you to stay for your own show, not Seyi Vibes show. You understand? They begged you to say, "Brother boy, this is your show. Please stay. Stay back for your fans and everything." Now, if there's any form of disrespect at all, that has to be right, up there with some of the biggest in terms of Afrobeat and, of course, fans and the artists. Let's have your thought. Put them down below. Of course, Big Lala, do you have any final statement before we
Please value yourself.
go?
Don't let them treat you anyhow. If you were
Yeah,
there, I mean, at this show, and you didn't like what happened, I mean, all fine and good, you should not be happy. But if you really want to defend Burna Boy, this is not the time. I beg, wait for
yeah.
another.
Anyway, this is not the time to defend Burna Boy. Let it say make una forgive our brother. Well, this is not about us right now. We're just commentators on this whole thing. The fans are there. Please, if you were there yesterday, put your comment down below. And if you think you saw the whole thing on social media as well, put your comments down below. What exactly do you think about Burna Boy and the antics last night? Yes, sir. Was it 3:30 a.m. I heard he came up on stage and I said, now our only Grammy artist, though. Anyways, shout out to Burna Boy. And of course, another Grammy nomination for the man who is maybe set to win another Grammy in January. Let's have your thought. Put them down below. We'll see you guys on the very next one. Please stay safe and God bless.